Stop ignoring your kidneys before they force you onto a dialysis machine. The reality is brutal. 90% of people with kidney disease have no idea they are failing until it's terminal. You feel fine today, but your daily habits are quietly scarring your filters beyond repair. Once they're gone, they don't grow back. You're looking at a lifetime of expensive treatments, extreme pain, and a desperate wait for a transplant. We are revealing the 18 habits destroying your kidneys right now. Watch this, because your second chance ends the moment your symptoms start. Before we dive into the specific habits, we need to address a painful reality that many patients face today. You might have noticed a frustrating and frankly dangerous gap in our current healthcare system. We have brilliant doctors who are experts at prescribing complex medications to manage your blood pressure or control your blood sugar. But when it comes to what you actually put on your plate 3 times a day, there is often a deafening silence. This silence is what I call the healthcare void, and it's where most kidney damage quietly accelerates. Imagine the scene. You go for your routine checkup, you get your blood work back, and you see markers like creatinine or GFR moving in the wrong direction. You feel a pit in your stomach staring at those numbers, wondering exactly what you did wrong. You look to your physician for a plan, but often the consultation ends with a new prescription and a vague piece of advice to watch your salt intake or lose some weight. For many of you, that's where the guidance ends. You leave the office feeling more like a laboratory statistic than a human being who needs to know how to eat to survive. The truth is a bit uncomfortable. Most medical schools focus heavily on pharmacology, treating symptoms with drugs, but they spend a notoriously small amount of time on deep nutritional science. This creates a high-risk zone for you, the patient. Your doctor is trained to be an exclusive authority on medicine, but nutrition is often absent from their curriculum. This is why so many of you feel lost and isolated, scrolling through the internet for answers while your kidney function continues to slip away. You're caught between an insurance establishment that prioritizes profit over long-term care and a medical system that isn't built to teach you how to cook for your kidneys. I've heard from so many people in our community who were actually discouraged from exercising when their kidney disease was first found, or who were never referred to a renal dietitian until they were already facing dialysis. It feels like the system is waiting for you to fail so it can treat the failure rather than helping you succeed in preservation. But let's be very clear. While a pill can manage a symptom, it cannot undo the cumulative damage of 1,000 poor dietary choices. Your kidneys are not just organs. They are highly sophisticated chemical laboratories. Every single thing you swallow, from that morning soda to that extra slice of processed meat, changes the pH of your blood and the glomerular pressure inside your nephrons. Don't wait for a miracle drug to save you. By the time that drug is necessary, your kidneys have already been through a war. You must become your own advocate. You need to bridge that gap between the pharmacy and your kitchen yourself. Understanding the impact of your daily routines is the most powerful prescription you will ever receive. It is the only thing that can actually slow down, or in some cases, stop the progression of chronic kidney disease. We are here to fill that void. We've fact-checked this data and reviewed it with qualified professionals because we know that the right information delivered at the right time is the difference between a healthy future and a life tied to a machine. You deserve to know exactly how your habits are impacting your internal filters. So, brace yourselves. because we are about to pull back the curtain on the habits the system often forgets to mention. It's time to move from confusion to action. Let's look at the 18 worst habits that are pushing your kidneys toward the brink. To truly understand why these 18 habits are so lethal, we need to look at what's happening deep inside your body's filtration system. Imagine your kidneys as a high-performance engine. When you force that engine to run at maximum RPM for years without proper maintenance, it eventually overheats and burns out. In medical terms, we call this glomerular hyperfiltration. It is the starting point of a slow-motion suicide for your kidneys. When you engage in these harmful routines, you are essentially forcing your kidneys to work overtime to filter out toxins, salt, and excess waste. This extra workload doesn't just tire out the kidneys. It physically scars them. Think of the nephrons, the microscopic filters in your kidneys, as tiny, delicate sieves. Hyperfiltration pushes blood through these sieves at such high pressure that they begin to tear. Once a nephron is scarred, it is gone forever. Your kidneys cannot grow new filters. This brings us to a critical, often overlooked danger: the buildup of uremic toxins. When your kidneys are struggling and overstressed, they can no longer flush out nitrogenous waste products like urea and creatinine. These toxins begin to circulate in your bloodstream, acting like a slow-acting poison that affects every other organ in your body, from your heart to your brain. This is why kidney disease often leads to heart failure and cognitive decline. It's a cascading failure triggered by habits we often dismiss as normal. Brace yourselves, because we are starting our countdown of the 18 worst daily habits that are pushing your kidneys into this state of hyperfiltration and toxic overload. Excessive salt intake. Salt is a quiet threat hidden in almost every meal you eat. When you consume too much sodium, your kidneys have to work significantly harder to maintain the delicate balance of fluids in your blood. This causes higher glomerular pressure, which physically damages the kidney structure over time. Moreover, high sodium reduces the effectiveness of kidney protecting medications. To protect yourself, stop using garlic salt and switch to garlic powder. Start reading food labels. You'll be shocked at how much sodium is hidden in healthy canned goods. 吃气, excessive sugar intake. The danger begins when your blood sugar rises above 180 milligrams per deciliter. At this point, your kidneys act like a safety valve and start dumping sugar into your urine. While this helps lower blood sugar, it causes massive damage to the tiny blood vessels in your kidneys, leading to proteinuria, a condition where you leak life-sustaining proteins into your pee. This is a primary gateway to chronic kidney disease. 吃料, overconsumption of red meat. Digesting animal protein generates a high acid load in your body. Your kidneys are responsible for neutralizing and removing this acid. When you eat meat excessively, you trigger a state of metabolic acidosis, which forces the kidneys into a permanent state of hyperfiltration. Switching just one meal a day from red meat to plant-based proteins like chickpeas or lentils can significantly lower the dietary acid load on your filters. 食物, ignoring the urge to urinate. We often call this ignoring nature's call, but it is actually a recipe for kidney failure. When you hold your urine, your bladder overstretches, creating back pressure that travels all the way up to your kidneys. This can lead to hydronephrosis, where the kidneys swell and become damaged. Furthermore, stagnant urine is a breeding ground for bacteria, leading to infections that can scar the kidney tissue permanently. 14. Overuse of painkillers. This is perhaps the most tragic habit because it's often done in the name of health. Over-the-counter drugs like ibuprofen, naproxen, and aspirin, known as NSAIDs, work by reducing blood flow. While this stops pain, it also starves your kidneys of the oxygen and nutrients they need to function. Thousands of people end up on dialysis every year simply because they took new painkillers for chronic headaches or joint pain without realizing the cost. 15. Excessive, strenuous exercise in heat. We are told exercise is good, but intense workouts without proper hydration can lead to rhabdomyolysis. This is a condition where your muscle cells break down and release a protein called myoglobin into your blood. Myoglobin is toxic to your kidneys and can cause sudden, acute kidney failure. Now you are exercising so hard that you can't hold a conversation or your heart is racing uncontrollably. You are not building health. You are destroying your filters. Sha'ar, chronic dehydration. Your kidneys need water to flush out toxins. Without enough fluid, those toxins become concentrated, leading to the formation of painful kidney stones and chronic inflammation. However, there is a balance. Drinking too much water when your kidneys are already damaged can dilute your electrolytes to dangerous levels. The key is to watch the color of your urine. It should be a pale, straw-like color. If it's dark, you are in the danger zone. E. Drinking sodas and colas. Colas are a double hit to kidney health. They are packed with sugar, leading to obesity and diabetes, but they also contain phosphoric acid. This acid promotes the formation of kidney stones and has been linked to a 58% increased risk of chronic kidney disease. Switching to unsweetened tea or plain water is one of the fastest ways to lower your risk. Sure, ignoring high blood pressure. Think of your kidneys as a delicate filter system connected to a high-pressure hose. If that pressure is constantly too high, the filters will eventually burst. Hypertension is the second leading cause of kidney failure worldwide. It creates a vicious cycle. High blood pressure damages the kidneys, and damaged kidneys make it even harder for your body to regulate blood pressure. Joe, chronic sleep deprivation. Your kidneys actually follow a circadian rhythm. Sleep is the time when your body regulates kidney function and balances electrolytes. When you sleep less than 6 hours a night, you overactivate the renin-angiotensin system, which spikes your blood pressure and puts a massive strain on your kidneys. Poor sleep is a direct accelerator of kidney function decline. Excessive processed food consumption. This is perhaps the most widespread silent suicide in modern society. Ultra-processed foods are engineered to be addictive, but they are a nightmare for your kidneys. They are loaded with hidden phosphorus and sodium. Unlike the phosphorus found in plants, which your body only absorbs about 50% of, the inorganic phosphorus additives in processed foods are absorbed nearly 100%. This flood of phosphorus stiffens your blood vessels and leaches calcium from your bones, turning your kidneys into a graveyard of mineral deposits. C. Over-reliance on artificial sweeteners. Many people switch to diet sodas thinking they are saving their kidneys from sugar. However, studies have shown that long-term consumption of artificially sweetened beverages is linked to a twofold increase in kidney function decline. The chemicals used to replace sugar can disrupt the delicate balance of gut bacteria, leading to systemic inflammation that directly scars the renal tissue. You aren't avoiding the problem. You are just changing the weapon. low. Smoking and passive smoke exposure. Most people associate smoking with lung cancer, but it is equally devastating for the kidneys. Smoking slows the blood flow to vital organs. When less blood reaches your kidneys, it impairs their ability to filter correctly. Furthermore, the toxic chemicals in tobacco smoke damage the endothelial cells lining your blood vessels, leading to arteriosclerosis of the renal arteries. You are essentially suffocating your kidneys from the inside out. Woo! Excessive alcohol consumption. According to the National Kidney Foundation, heavy drinking doubles the risk of kidney disease. Alcohol is a toxin that your kidneys must filter out, but it also causes severe dehydration. This dehydration disrupts the mineral balance in your body and forces the kidneys to work in a dry environment, which is highly abrasive to the nephrons. If you combine heavy drinking with smoking, your risk of kidney failure increases by a staggering 5 times. Not drinking enough water, chronic dehydration. Your kidneys are essentially a water-based filtration system. Without enough fluid, the toxins they filter become highly concentrated. This leads to the formation of kidney stones, jagged mineral crystals that tear through the delicate lining of your urinary tract. But even if you don't get stones, chronic dehydration keeps your kidneys in a state of constant stress, thickening the blood and making the filtration process feel like trying to push sludge through a fine silk screen. Poorly managed diabetes. High blood sugar acts like shards of glass inside your blood vessels. Over time, these glass shards destroy the tiny clusters of blood vessels in the kidneys that filter waste. This condition, called diabetic nephropathy, is the leading cause of kidney failure globally. The tragedy is that many people don't realize their sugar is high until the kidneys are already at 30% capacity. This is why managing your A1C levels isn't just about avoiding insulin, it's about keeping your filters intact. Or overusing proton pump inhibitors, acid reflux meds. This is a shocking revelation for many. Common medications for heartburn and acid reflux, when taken long-term, have been linked to an increased risk of chronic kidney disease. These drugs can cause a condition called interstitial nephritis, an inflammation of the kidney cells. Because these meds are so easy to get over the counter, millions of people are unknowingly trade off their digestive comfort for renal failure. The sitting epidemic. Leading a sedentary lifestyle is now being recognized as a direct risk factor for kidney disease. When you sit for more than 8 hours a day, your body's metabolism slows down and your blood pressure regulation becomes erratic. Physical activity helps the body process glucose and maintain a healthy blood pressure, both of which are vital for kidney health. Sitting for too long is like letting a car engine idle in the garage for weeks. Eventually, the pipes get clogged and the system fails. Every single one of these 18 habits is a brick in the wall that is closing in on your health. But the most dangerous part isn't the habits themselves, it's the uremic toxins they leave behind. When your kidneys fail to clear these toxins, they start to pickle your other organs. You might feel fine today, but beneath the surface, your heart is working harder, your brain is getting foggier, and your bones are getting weaker. This is why we call it a silent killer. Now, we need to talk about something that might shock you. We often think that being extreme with our health is the best way to protect it. We see influencers pushing high-intensity detoxes and superfood cleanses, promising to flush out every toxin in your body. But for your kidneys, this extreme wellness can be a deadly trap. This is the part of the video where we break the illusion of the healthy lifestyle and look at the hard truth of extreme habits. Think about the master cleansers or those who drink massive amounts of lemon water every single morning. We've been told that lemon water is a miracle cure for everything. But here is the reality. Lemon juice is packed with potassium. For a healthy person, that's fine. But if your kidneys are already in a state of hyperfiltration, your body can no longer flush out excess potassium effectively. This leads to a dangerous buildup in your blood, which can trigger sudden heart palpitations or even a heart attack. What you thought was a detox could actually be a fast track to the emergency room. And it's not just what you drink, it's how you move. We live in a culture that worships the no pain, no gain mentality. You see people pushing themselves through grueling CrossFit sessions or long distance runs in 90-degree heat, thinking they are building a stronger body. But if you aren't careful, you are actually triggering a biological disaster called rhabdomyolysis. When you push your muscles to the point of failure in extreme heat, your muscle fibers literally start to dissolve. They release a massive amount of myoglobin, a heavy protein, directly into your bloodstream. Your kidney's tiny tubes, the tubules, were never designed to handle this. They get clogged almost instantly, leading to acute kidney injury. It is a terrifying irony. You are at the gym trying to extend your life, but belai, you end up on a dialysis machine because you didn't listen to your body's warning signs. This is the Leinmeinkukduan trap. You are putting a Formula One workload on a filter system that just needs consistency and stability. The same goes for the protein obsession. Many people go on extreme zero-carb, high-protein diets to build muscle or lose weight quickly. But consuming massive amounts of animal protein every day creates an incredible acid load that your kidneys must neutralize. You are essentially forcing your kidneys to run a marathon every time you eat. Over time, this constant acid stress leads to chronic inflammation and scarring. You have to be careful with what you consider health advice on social media. Many of these trends are designed for clicks, not for the delicate chemistry of your renal system. The truth is, your kidneys don't want shocks or cleanses or extreme challenges. They want balance. They want a steady flow of hydration, a moderate intake of nutrients, and enough rest to regulate your hormones. Imagine your kidneys as a quiet, hardworking employee. They don't complain until they are at 10% capacity. When you throw extreme health trends at them, you aren't helping. You are buckload. You are exploiting their silence. This is why so many people who think they are the healthiest in their friend group are often the ones who end up with a surprise diagnosis. They were so focused on the outward appearance of health that they ignored the internal reality of their filtration system. The most dangerous lie is that you can fix a year of bad habits with 1 week of extreme detoxing. You can't. Your kidneys need a lifestyle of informed decisions, not a temporary fix that actually causes more stress. If you are over 50, or if you have any family history of high blood pressure, these extreme trends are not just risky, they are a gamble you will likely lose. We are revealing these traps because we want you to stop being a victim of wellness misinformation. Your second chance at health doesn't come from a lemon water fast or an extreme workout. It comes from understanding the limits of your organs and respecting the biological boundaries they operate within. Stay with me, because what we are about to discuss next is perhaps the most emotional part of this journey, the story of those who never had a choice but are still fighting. After everything we've discussed, it's time to stop looking at these habits as minor mistakes and start seeing them for what they really are. A direct distress call from your body. Your kidneys are patient, but they are not invincible. Because they mask their pain so well, you have to become an expert at listening to the whispers before they turn into screams. There are 6 specific clinical signs that your kidneys are struggling to keep up with a toxic load. First, pay attention to any unusual swelling in your hands, ankles, or feet. This happens because when your filters fail, sodium and fluid begin to pool in your tissues. Second, notice if you are feeling a level of fatigue that sleep just can't fix. This is often due to a drop in erythropoietin, the hormone your kidneys produce to create red blood cells. Without it, you become anemic and drained. Third, look at your urine. If it appears foamy or bubbly, like the head on a beer, you are likely leaking vital proteins. Fourth, watch for persistent skin rashes or extreme itching. This is the result of uremic toxins building up and trying to escape through your pores. Fifth, don't dismiss those late-night muscle cramps or twitches. They are a sign of electrolyte imbalance. And finally, if you find yourself struggling with brain fog or difficulty concentrating, your brain is likely reacting to the waste products that your kidneys failed to flush out. Recognizing these signs isn't about panicking. It's about taking immediate action. You have the power to change the trajectory of your health. But it starts with a commitment to a 6 to 8 week reset. This is the time it typically takes for your taste buds to adjust to a lower sodium diet and for your internal chemistry to stabilize. Start with the smallest, most practical change. Your spice cabinet. To protect your kidneys, you must break your addiction to salt. Instead of reaching for that salt shaker, which raises your blood pressure and scars your nephrons, create a kidney-saving flavor kit. Use fresh herbs like basil, rosemary, and oregano. Switch garlic salt for pure garlic powder. Use lemon zest or apple cider vinegar to give your food that zing without the sodium hit. These simple swaps can lower your glomerular pressure almost immediately. Moreover, commit to a consistent hydration cycle. Don't wait until you are thirsty at that point. You are already dehydrated. Set an alarm every 2 to 3 hours to drink a small glass of plain water. This keeps the toxic concentration low and prevents the formation of stones. If you are over 50, this consistency is your greatest defense against the silence trap. Remember, kidney health is not a sprint. It's a marathon of informed decisions. You don't need extreme detoxes. You need a lifestyle of stability. By making these small adjustments today, you are essentially giving your kidneys a second chance to heal and function. You are choosing a future of freedom over a future tied to a dialysis machine. Listen to your body now so you don't have to regret the silence later. Stay informed, stay proactive, and let's take the first step toward a healthier you together. As we wrap up today's journey, I want you to take a moment and think about the person you want to be 5, 10, or 20 years from now. Do you want to be bound to a hospital chair 3 days a week? Or do you want to be out there enjoying your life with your children and grandchildren? The choice isn't made in the future. It is made right now with every meal you eat and every glass of water you drink. Your kidneys have been working tirelessly for you since the day you were born, never asking for a break, quietly filtering every mistake you've ever made. Now it's your turn to fight for them. This isn't just about watching a video. It's about joining a community of people who refuse to be victims of a silent killer. I want to hear from you in the comments below. What is the one habit you're committing to change today? Whether it's drinking more water or finally cutting back on the salt shaker, share your plan. We're not here just for views. We're here to swap survival stories and support each other in this mission.